Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing a natural glam on this beauty. And as you all know, I usually start my makeup looks with eyebrows first. For brows today we'll be using a Beauty Treats eyebrow pencil in the shade light brown. Her eyebrows were previously tinted, however she found that it was not dark enough, so she wanted it a little more defined, and this is what we came up with. To clean up under her eyebrows, I used a lighter shade foundation, and the brand that I'm using is the Maybelline Superstay foundation. And the shade that I'm using is Golden Caramel, which is number 332 in the Maybelline Superstay foundation. Once we have finished cleaning up under the eyebrows, I will then take a blending brush to simply blend the rest of that foundation down to the rest of the eye, because that is also going to be my eyeshadow base. And to blend that all out, I am using a tapping or a patting motion to blend that foundation on the balance of the eye. I am not swiping or brushing, because that is simply going to leave streaks on the eye, which is not going to blend well when it's time to add your eyeshadows. And this was her brows after we cleaned it up. So we are going to be doing a natural look, so that means minimal eyeshadow or earthly tones eyeshadow. And to achieve that eyeshadow look, we are going to be using the Morphe 35O Supernatural palette. I have had this palette in my kit for a very long time because it is one of my favorite go-tos for natural looks. The shades that are available on this palette is so versatile for just about anyone's skin type and also skin complexion. My eyeshadow technique consists mostly of patting or swiping motion. So once I apply my transition shade and my crease shades, I usually apply them by patting them first and then going back in with a blending brush and swiping that back and forth until both shades are well blended. And for that eyelid shade, I am only going to be patting because I want it to be most prominent. And then the only time I would go back in with the blending brush is to just blend out that harsh line that you may get between the lid shade and the crease shade. And for a liner, you'll know we use the Inglot number 77 black gel liner. For me, this eyeliner is durable, long-lasting, and waterproof, which is exactly what you need in a liner to ensure that your makeup does not run. If you need to cry, if you need to just be in water, or just if you are sweating a lot, this eyeliner works great for everyone. For her eyelashes, I use a local brand called Kenzie Beauty in the style Simple. Once I've applied my eyelashes, I just like to go over the eyeliner to make sure that there is no glue visible and the liner looks straight once we have applied the lashes. And then I'll just wipe off any eyeshadow fallout we would have had while doing the eyeshadow process. To clean up the balance of her eyebrows and also to do the rest of her face, we would have used the Maybelline Superstay foundation in the shade Cappuccino. And as you all would have noticed by now, Maybelline Superstay foundation is my go-to foundation for most of my clients because it just blends well with everyone's skin and the shade range is just simply amazing. When you're blending your foundation, you always want to use a patting motion, whether you are using a brush or a beauty blender. Patting is the best way to blend it out without leaving any streaks or wet marks on the face. For under eye highlighter and the center face highlighter, we are going back in with the Maybelline Superstay foundation in the shade Golden Caramel. This is the same shade that we used to clean up under her eyebrows, and it is the same shade we are going to be using to highlight the center of her face. And what I like to do is I usually like to allow the under eye and the center face highlights to dry just a little before going back in and blending it all out. To me, it gives the client or under eye a lot more coverage. Once I've blended the highlights into the skin, I usually like to go back in with my foundation brush to just blend out any harsh lines that might be visible where the lighter shade of foundation and her shade of foundation is concerned. To now set that highlight that we would have done previously, I am using the Sasha Buttercup Setting Powder in the shade Light. And I'm just going to allow this to sit on her face while we do her contour. And for her contour, I'll be using the Sasha Pro Powder. This palette is no longer available. It has been discontinued, but the shades individually are sold. So if you are looking for a particular shade, you can do so and purchase them individually. But the palette, which is very unfortunate, is no longer available. The contour allows me to bring back definition to her face, and here I am just adding some blush to pop her cheekbones a little bit more, with also some highlights. For the under eye, I'm just going to apply the crease color, which is the dark brown, and then I would add a lighter brown to blend that together under the eyes. Now that I have finished with contouring and highlighting, I'm just going to lightly dust off the rest of the setting powder off of her face before we go back in with her shade of powder to blend all of that together. To blend, we are going to be blending the highlight and the contour and the blush to make everything look seamless and well blended on her face. We don't want any visible lines. For her lips, I'm going to be using the Sasha Pro Powder palette again, and I'm using the shade Perfect Copper to line her lips. And as we draw closer to the center of the lips, I am using the shade Perfect Bronze to blend that Perfect Copper, and then I'm gonna go in with a lip color for the center of the lip to highlight it. And to finish off her lips, we added a gloss on top of it. I am not using an expensive gloss. I am simply using a Beauty Treats lip ointment as a gloss for the top of her lips. So her lips are not only glossy, but it's well nourished, while she has some matte colors below it. I will be sure to link all the products that I used in my description down below, and whichever product is discontinued or not available, I will be sure to link great substitutes for those products. Before I set her face, I made sure and went back in with a highlight to the tear duct, and I set her face with rose water first and then the Maybelline setting spray after. Let me know what other videos you are interested in seeing in the comments down below. If you have stayed with me all the way to the end of this video, thank you all so very much for your continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe for much more, and don't forget to follow us on all our social medias to stay up to date with us.